Hi guys, my name is Leigh. Welcome to the Babestation Show, and today I'm going to be answering all of your questions for me. How did you first join the industry? So my start in the industry is kind of like a complicated one because essentially I used to work in corporate doing like software sales and like other business to business sales like within software, which was really corporate and really like boring and 9 to 5. And I remember one day I just stormed out one of my offices because I had like this, not argument, but I had an instance with like one of the guys that were working there being like just really rude and stuff. And essentially I just walked out one day and was like, I'm just gonna live my life now. And then literally had like no real job essentially, and just thought, what am I actually going to do next? Because I knew I didn't want to go back into corporate or do a 9 to 5 again. I wanted to do something that was more me. Like, I've always been a very artistic performance kind of person in terms of like acting and singing and stuff like that. And then literally I got asked by one of my friends to do Babestation, and I was a bit like, I don't know whether I want to like do TV or anything like that. And then I got asked again, and then I said, okay, let me come and like see what it's all about. And I just really enjoyed the freedom it sort of gave me over my whole life, I suppose. Like, I wasn't a slave to the system and having to wake up at 9 a.m. every morning. Well, I say wake up at 9 a.m. I actually had to wake up at 7 a.m. every morning and be there for like 8:30. And then getting home and then feeling knackered and stuff like that. Whereas now I can literally just do the hours I want to do. Obviously, I do the levels I want to do. I'm a very talkative, eccentric kind of person. So this, for like where I am in my life right now as well, is such a good fit for me. It just allows me to do everything else I want to do as well in terms of like my acting and other modeling jobs. So that's sort of a very, very short story of how I got into the industry. Do I enjoy working here? So I absolutely enjoy just being my own boss. Being in this industry is such, I don't want to say like a blessing, but essentially the path that I've essentially taken has been such a blessing versus the one I would have taken. A lot of people come out of a job and they think, I need to just go back into the nearest job that's going to pay me a salary, and it's like 9 to 5 and minimum wage. And I think this has just opened up so many different doors for me, because I think obviously life's what you make it, but I really took this opportunity as a stepping stone into bigger things as well. So just doing more modeling and getting out there and just traveling, which you would not be able to do in a lot of other jobs. And also I just get to have fun, which is, it's cool. I literally get paid to have fun, which I think is pretty cool. To have fun. What's the weirdest request you've ever had? Oh my God, I definitely have had so many weird requests. A lot of the weird ones, I mean, I don't even know if I can say it on here. It's so bad. Like, some of them are really bad. I think the one that will always come to mind, I mean, there's generic ones that a lot of other people find weird that I don't necessarily find weird because it's actually really common, but the ball busting. When I first heard it, I was like, what? And they're like, you get guys that will literally be like, stamp on my parts and things like that. And it's literally, and they want you to like bust their balls. And does size matter? I think the obvious answer is like, no, it genuinely like doesn't. Absolutely not. However, like everything, there is a limit of how big or small something can be. I mean, obviously things can be too big as well as too small, for sure. Like, obviously, if it's like not workable, like too small to a point where it's not workable, then obviously that's too small. But if it's like just, less than average, little less than average, bit less than average, or average, that's fine. As long as you know what you're doing, you're making up for it in other ways. Like, it's so important. I think I'd pick someone with a smaller wiener that can like satisfy me more than someone with like a massive one that's just gonna, like, I don't even know, just like, it's just not gonna be more enjoyable, So I think Basically, size does not matter to a point. Do cam girls actually reach climax? It depends. It depends on what you're doing, obviously. I mean, it really just depends, because it's such a wide thing, and it always just depends on what you're doing, whether you're in a private, and if things are involved, or if you're just on the phone. I feel like I've never been on the phone with someone and I feel like, because that's just not enough for me. And it's also hard, you need someone there. I mean, I imagine a lot of girls actually do climax, because I feel like, especially with can you say squirting? I'm squirting. You can't fake that stuff. So essentially the answer is yes, but it depends. But it depends. What is my best sex advice? So my best sex advice to any man would be to learn where everything is in the vagina. I just think genuinely, please just learn. It's not hard, to know where things are. I think a lot of guys just genuinely make it out it's some sort of hidden secret, and they just can't possibly figure it out, where's what, and they're rubbing down wrong places, and it's you're actually hurting me. So I think, and then as well, guys also don't know when to recognize sometimes when you're enjoying something versus when you're not. It's just use your brain. Use your brain and realize what you're doing. Sometimes isn't always pleasurable, but I think my main thing is please just learn what parts of the vagina are what, because genuinely too many people don't know. It's concerning. Do your homework. Do your homework, my friends. And I don't mean through porn. I mean open up a book with a diagram of a vagina and look at it hard and ask yourself, quiz yourself. The clit is here. The hole is down here. For God's sake. Has your job changed your sex life outside of work? No. It's always just stayed the same. I think, no, it definitely hasn't changed anything to do with that, or my views necessarily on sex, or how I feel towards sex, or anything like that. It really hasn't, because I think, but even before coming into this industry, I've always had a very plain understanding of what is porn and what is real, and also just the industry in general, and how things work. And obviously we are performers, and that's what we do. We bring pleasure to you guys as well, but that doesn't really affect my outside life really at all, I don't think. I mean, obviously it will in some ways, but in terms of my sex life, definitely not. Do you masturbate to other cam performers or porn? No. I'm definitely, I couldn't even ever imagine going to another cam performer for anything like that. No, definitely not. Can you see yourself doing this long term? I mean, honestly, I don't know what the future holds. I have never really planned on doing this super long term. For me, long term maybe means 5+ years. But you just never know where life can take you and things. I've always seen this job as a stepping stone. So I just don't know. We will see where life takes me, where the river flows. Have you gained any kinks or fetishes from work? I don't think I have. I mean, I think I've more gained a lot of confidence in the bedroom in terms of I know, because obviously I know a lot now, and I also know a lot about what other guys want now. So I feel like that has helped me in that way, but I've not really gained any specific things. I haven't all of a sudden got a foot fetish or something like that, or I can't even think of another one right now. But I haven't really gained any crazy things before. I think I'm just more confident, but maybe that means I'm more okay with certain things that I probably wasn't before. But no. Have you ever had a crush on a caller? Yeah. I definitely have had guys where they are so hot on the phone. They may be so ugly, but they are so, the voice, and you're just there listening oh my God. There's 2 guys I can think of off the top of my head, and I'm their voice was nice. And I'm are we okay? But yeah, no, essentially, yeah, one or two. But that's not necessarily, I would say, a full crush. And just more like, oh my God, they just sounded really hot. They probably weren't, but you never know. They probably were. Does your family know what you do for work? Yes. I'm like, yes, they do. Yeah, my family know. They're very supportive. They always have been. I've always grown up as well, like around sort of other people in the industry. And so I've always had a very clear understanding of like, this is a business. And I think everyone in my family also understands this is a business. The sex industry is one of the highest earning industries in the whole world. And that is just a fact. So I think I've always just been wise to that. I've always been mature enough to understand that. And it's not like, oh my God, these just people are just taboo as fuck. And oh my God, tut tut and tisk tisk and don't do that. I've never been brought up like that. So it's very just like, this is a business and we're going to earn our money. And as long as you're comfortable and strong-minded enough to do it, why not? What does an average day at work look like for me? Well, it depends because I normally work quite late at night. So my day will normally start maybe around 11 a.m. I love sleeping in the mornings. I hate mornings. So I try to sleep as much of it away as possible. And then I'll wake up slowly, like have a chill, watch a bit of TV. Then I'll go to the gym and get my little Starbucks iced matcha, like a little ritual every single day after the gym. And then after that, I'll like just shower, get ready, get glam, maybe take a few content for like TikTok and Instagram, and then just get online here at the studio. And then just be on for maybe like, you know, I'm like a couple hours, like 7 hours. It's like 7 hours, and then yeah, just call it a night. But it's a nice chilled routine that I have. Like I'm never rushing. Nothing's ever like, you know, I've never felt rushed. I hate that life. I think because in my old job, I was always rushing to get to work and then rushing to get home and traffic and the morning rush. I hate it so much. So I just want to wake up naturally and then stroll to the gym for a bit and then have a nice Starbucks and sit and enjoy it and then slowly do my makeup and then go on, you know what I mean? So I just much prefer that lifestyle that comes along with this routine. Also healthy. I live a healthy lifestyle as I can. Do you feel awkward performing near producers and crew members? I mean, in the beginning, I definitely was. I was like, oh my God, like you're there and my tits are out. Like it was kind of a bit of a shock. But I also, I don't know, I think it's just a confidence thing. Like if you're confident enough, and obviously we're all professional, as we all can be, and essentially, yeah, it's normally, I think as well, because a lot of the people that have worked here, we've been working together for a while, so we all just get it, you know what I mean? No one's gonna be like, oh my God, she's got her tits out. No one's gonna do that. So you just, once you like realize that here and you get more comfortable, it's cool. Like I definitely don't feel awkward ever now. It's just is what it is. This is our job. Does your job alter people's expectations in the bedroom? I don't think they'd necessarily be like, oh my God, your job equals you must be this in the bedroom. I don't think anyone has ever like said that to me or thought, maybe they do think that, but no one's ever said that to me, or like, I've never got that impression from people. I think I just in general have this certain air about me that guys, even before like I had this job, will be like, oh, I bet you're naughty and blah blah blah, I bet you do this and I bet you're a freak. And it's like, even before I did this job and I was like probably a lot less freaky than I am now, I was like, I'm not like a freak. Whereas now I'm like, yeah, I'm a freak. But I don't think it's necessarily like, maybe they think it, but I don't get that vibe. I think people are just like, they see me more than my job type of thing. Do you feel your job has affected your identity? Yes. 100%. I think when I started this job, I created the Cherry Leigh persona, I suppose. I don't even know why. I think as a way to just sort of be this other person that can perform and be like, and like all the therapists can be like, oh my God, she's so damaged. But like literally, I guess I just was like, I sort of created Cherry Leigh and was like, she's like a rock star and she's super confident and like does not give a fuck about what other people do and say. And that was sort of my way of coping. And just, I guess, like just doing what I need to do. But that also has really helped me as a person in every aspect of my life, like be so much stronger and so much more confident. And I just have become, I guess, this person that I wanted to be at the time, and now I just am my persona. So I mean, now it doesn't affect me, and I know I'm so sure in who I am, and I'm really confident in myself and what I want to put out there in terms of my identity. But I think it definitely was like a big shift over the last year, especially. I think was like, I was not the same person back then. Do you make lots of money? I'm like, no. No, I mean, yeah, I make a lot of money. I'm like, I don't want to get my like taxes up. But this job has definitely, it's not even necessarily like this specific job, like here where I'm working is what earns me so much money, but it's an avenue of like lots of different things that I would not have been able to do without being here or just in this industry that make up a lot more money than I could ever earn at any 9-to-5 job. Like and as well, it's just, there's no roof here. You can keep earning and earning and earning, just depending on how smart you are and how much work you put into it. Like with most things, but I think a lot of industries there is like a limit on how much you can earn. A lot of places you can't earn that much, whereas here there's so many different streams that go into it. It's not just Babestation. There's loads of other platforms and other opportunities that you get through being through Babestation or just on other platforms as well, and being able to focus more on your social media. And I would never have been able to do that like at my old job, or even thought I could do that and felt like I could put myself out there the way I do now, because it's not even a sexual thing. It's more just putting myself out there on the internet and just being this persona on the internet, I suppose. And I would never get the opportunities I have now if I didn't do that, if I was still like in a 9-to-5 and just was like, you know, around small-minded people that are always like, oh, you can't post that. Tisk, you can't post that. You've too much cleavage. It's like, oh, stop. Whereas like, you know, now you just post what you want and people will celebrate you for it. Do you ever get camera shy or psyched out before going live? No, I mean, there's been times where maybe I don't feel my best, or like, which is rare for me. I feel like I'm a really like confident person in how I feel, and I've never been a camera shy person. I've always been a performer, and put me on the stage with the spotlights and in front of the camera. I've always been that person. But there are days where maybe I just can't be bothered to put a full face of makeup on and then get on the camera, or you're just having a bad day and just like, oh my God, I've got to be like, because as well, you want to be your best self for these people that are spending their money on you. As well, because you sort of owe it to them when they're spending money on you. So yeah, it is hard sometimes, but in that sense, but it's rare. I never really get psyched out either. If you could sleep with any celebrity, who would it be? Who would it be? I don't even know. Oh no, I do know. Michael Morone. Love you. He's from so many things, but he was most famously known for being in 365. You know that one that's meant to be like 50 Shades of Grey on Netflix? Yes. Love you, Michael. Michael? I think it's Moron. Michael Moron. Yeah, he's just gorgeous. Italian stallion, like that is my type to a T. Like the tattoos, he's a musician as well. Oh, beautiful, beautiful human. What I wish I would have learned sooner would be more to know that you can always do anything, essentially. Like, I feel like I always felt so limited for such a long time in my life that you could only do certain jobs and you can only do certain things. You can only go as far as like what other people around you is going as far as and things. You can always literally do whatever you want, literally anything. You just have to do the first step and then the second step and then the third step and so on. You literally can do anything you want. I think now that I've learned that, I'm literally so many more opportunities are open to me, and I've really gone a lot further in my life in a shorter amount of time because I've just learned that the sky's the limit, and you literally can do anything, and not to limit yourself, and to essentially say yes to as many things as possible and just take those risks. Sometimes they really will pay off. I think I was really scared to take risks for a really long time, But yeah, just learning that you can do anything.